Welcome back. Picture this. You're in the market for a new home and you have an appointment to see your perfect house. You arrive on time, walk to the front door, only to be greeted by a barking dog or a hissing cat. Well, our KC Live home and real estate expert, Elizabeth Sady, is here to talk about what leaving your pets at home during a showing and why it can be a huge mistake. And you have some solutions as well. Okay, so for folks out there, why is it so important that sellers be aware of what they do with their pets for showings?
Well, like, some people aren't pet lovers, and by all means, if you've got a dog there, it's going to let them know that they should probably be looking for stains on the carpets or scratches in your hardwoods. Before, I mean, people wouldn't even have looked at the hardwood floors that closely upon a first showing, but they're looking for damage. So that's part of the reason why you want to get them out. But if a dog's there, so if you don't, ideally, let's just say you want to remove all pets for showings. I understand that's not always possible, but that's ideal. So that would be the best case in which you would really want to try to strive for. I've gone before where dogs have been kenneled and they're barking, and it's just really hard to relax and look at a house and see if you're going to like it. If that room, when you've got a barking dog, it just kind of puts you on edge. I mean, anytime you hear your neighbor's dog barking, don't you get kind of a little on edge and a little annoyed? So you would want to get them out. Other times, I mean, I've gone before. By no means would you ever want to leave them out and about in your house. Many agents, myself, I typically won't show a house if I go to the front door and the dog is actually out, even if the sellers have said, oh, they're friendly, they won't bite. You never know, and I don't want to put my clients in a position that they feel uncomfortable with, whether a dog, when you enter, is now not going to be as friendly as when the owner's home. You
given us advice in the past on like taking personal pictures down. I think this is another example. You want to envision your family pet in the house, or a lack of pet, not someone else's. And if they're barking, that's certainly an example of that. This doesn't feel like my home.
Exactly, but more than anything, I mean, like, some people are allergic to cats, and you would hate for, I mean, and cats do get overlooked, but you would hate for someone to not even consider, because I've had buyers before go, oh, there's another cat. Like, if there's 3 cats living here and I'm allergic to cats, I don't know that we'll be able to get the cat dander out of here to where I'm not going to have allergic reactions once we move in. Let's move on to the next house. Let's not consider this one.
And it could have been the perfect house for them.
It could have very well have been the perfect house, but also a lot of things too, you got to think about safety. So not only the safety of the buyers, but the safety of your pet. Like, I've before with cats are notorious for trying to dart outdoors, and a lot of times when there's a cat, then I'm going around, and I'm not a big cat fan myself. I'm not one that and they love me, but I'm taking and trying to keep them from running out the door. Instead of pointing out the lovely features of a home to my buyers, we're worried about the cat hissing at us or trying to scratch at us, and that's happened before. You're distracted then, and you're not enjoying the house. But what if that cat were to get out, or that dog were to get out? I don't think any buyer would feel bad, any agent would feel horrible letting your animal out.
Okay, so what are your recommendations? Where do you take your dog or cat? With you everywhere, every time, every showing?
Well, and I pride myself a lot on selling houses quickly. So I've had, in the past where I've had sellers that send, their pets off to a little pet vacation to grandma and grandpa's house or a family friend's house for a week, while those first week of showings kind of get out of the way, and usually we can get them under contract hopefully in that time. But otherwise, there's doggy daycare. I mean, people come home and take the dog for a car ride during that hour. Showings typically are about an hour and 15 minutes, so they might take the dogs with them somewhere. But those are all kind of options for getting them out of the house. Sometimes maybe a neighbor's backyard, though that can backfire.
That can backfire.
Before we're like, what's with the dog next door barking? And it ends up being the dog that lives in the house we're looking at.
Right. I think that's good advice. Okay. So what about dog and cat toys that are left out and about? What about that?
Well, and if you've worked so hard to get that dog or that cat out of the house, it would be really good to just tuck them in a cabinet or out of sight, where it's not another reminder for someone to go, oh, okay, there's 2 big dogs. And I've seen before where there's a dog bowl this big, and all of a sudden we're going, oh no, not only is there a dog here, but it's a big dog. Let's make sure they didn't scratch these hardwood floors up and ruin them to where we're going to have to pay to refinish them.
Great advice. Just to remove all signs of an animal living there.
By all means, it's best.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. All right.